Good morning, everyone, and a very good morning to, very warm welcome to the briefing on Wednesday, the 12th of June. Looks like a reasonable day today. This is midday charts. You can see on here trough line up to the north, but staying pretty clear of us. We're sort of in between, got low pressure up to the northeast, low pressure down over Spain, and a low pressure over the Atlantic. But we are kind of on this ridge of high pressure extending in from the Atlantic here, about 1020, maybe 1022 over the Lasham area. It looks like a reasonable soaring day, provided you stay well clear of this trough and the associated showers. Moving ahead to tomorrow, getting a little bit worse, really. These frontal systems moving in, isobars tightening up, and you can see the fronts heading our way probably Thursday night, which should hopefully mean that they don't bother us too much. Looking at Friday, looks like potentially quite an unsettled picture, and I think that's quite hard to predict whether or not we'll get anything out of that until nearer to the time. Likewise, moving into Saturday and Sunday, quite unsettled, quite unpredictable at this point. Winds today, very, very light, showing towards the centre of the country, westerly at 5 knots, and towards the south, northeasterly at 5 knots, and really quite variable over the country. So I think to begin with, we're going to have just light and variable with a slight northwesterly flow, and then as the day goes on, picking up to a more defined westerly flow, but still very light. Okay, as we run through the sat pic, you can see quite a lot of cloud extending up to the north and to the east of us, and that has thinned out a little bit over the last few hours. You can see it clearing up in our area, but quite clearly a lot clearer out to the west and up to the northwest into Wales, and a lot cloudier out to the east, which unsurprisingly is going to bring with it better soaring out to the east, out to the west into the West Country. Rainfall, you can see a few little spots around. You can see kind of a line of showers just going down the east coast of the country up there, probably associated with that trough. As we run through the forecast, you can see some development predicted from about 10, 11 a.m., but mostly to our north and to our east. You can see in the task area today, it's looking pretty clear. Running through into the afternoon, drying out a little bit. By 2 p.m., most of those showers are contained more to the east, and going further throughout the afternoon, drying out further. So really not a risk today with the task area, but you can see why we're probably not going to be going north and east. Public forecast then for the Lasham showing a pretty cloudy day with a top temperature of 14 degrees, so it's still not very warm. And you can see the wind is just light and variable, generally from the west, although they've stuck a northeast and a south in here, so a bit of everything, but it's very, very light. UV getting up to about 6, so we'll be needing sunscreen despite the fact that it's very cold. Temperatures at midday in the Lasham area, 13 degrees, 13s and 14s down into the West Country, a little bit cooler up into the Wales, 11 and 12. Warmer out to the east as normal. Moving along to about 4 p.m, very similar, 13, 14s, 14s, possibly 15 in the West Country. Dew points around about midday, we're looking at about 5s and 6s. So we've got quite a nice split there. You've got 8 or 9 degrees. That's the view outside. Just give that a refresh. Yeah, you see after over the last half hour that upper cloud has cleared up quite nicely, and we've already got some cumulus starting to pop over there. We'll just have a look more to the north. Yeah, you can see developing very well already, maybe slightly too well. Currently 11 degrees, dew points of 7. Dave Masson's forecast then, this is a day out of date, and I think the weather's potentially changed a bit, but he's showing it's good weather if we can get there. So it's out to the west, he's basically predicting. He's showing, yeah, thermic by 10 a.m, cumulus base of 1500, tops to 8,000, and yeah, potential for some showers and spread out, but generally better out to the west. Farnborough, interestingly, just showing a prop 30 here, between 10 and 4 p.m. for some light rain showers, otherwise a light westerly flow. Okay, here's your potential flight distance on top Meteo. You can see quite clearly best out into the West Country. So reasonable in the Lasham area. We're just on the edge of a slightly poorer area. So it's just a matter of clawing out to the west, enjoying ourselves over there and then coming back. We run through the thermals on top Meteo then, 10 a.m. You see convection's about 3,000 feet. And running that through into the afternoon, you can see higher out to the west and less likely to spread out and shower. It's showing actually some showers just down to our southeast into Sussex and Kent. but it looks like a fairly steady 1,500 meters, so 4,000 feet or so out to the west. Continuing on, this is 3 p.m. Maybe even bluing out a little bit in the Bristol Channel, or from the Bristol Channel with maybe a light northerly flow there. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem, but yeah, it looks like 4,500 feet over there and a little bit lower at Lasham. So definitely a day to be going out to the west. Skysight then, their potential flight distance is looking quite similar. We've got Lasham down here, right on the edge of quite a poor area and really quite good the further west you go, really. And if we look at a point forecast, we can see Lasham here, clouding up quite a little bit, and it's showing to be a bit unreliable about midday here. But as we pick a point further to the west, you can see looking a lot steadier with a steadily increasing cloud base until about 4 p.m. With thermal strengths up about 4 knots, so looking quite nice. Not a lot of high or mid cloud cover to worry about, whereas looking back at Lasham, also similar, but you see the thermal is a lot weaker, 2 to 3 knots. Okay, NOTAMs. Looks like there's quite a lot on here, but actually not a lot that's important. A couple of live firings nearby, but they're all very low level. Most of these are paragliders, so keep a good lookout today. Heavily danger area from 9 p.m. onwards. There is a couple out to the west. Was it 15? That wasn't 15. It was 3 and 4, I think. Yes, we've got 2 danger areas, Merivale here and Willsworthy activated, and that's pretty much all day. One is up to 4,500, the other is up to 10,000, so both well within the operating bands. Otherwise, the only other thing to worry about is there's some parachuting at Hereford, 39 here, surface to 13,000 feet. That's all day, and that's an 8 nautical mile radius. Otherwise, I didn't see anything on here, but as always, please check for yourself. Operationally today, I think we'll have enough demand for a grid. So let's grid on the north side for 2-7 as normal, 2 rows. Please don't put them too close to the north side. Remember, 2 wingspans as per the airfield manual. We were a little bit close the other day. We also had people, I had to realign a lot of gliders because you were pointing over towards the hangar in the workshop. It's probably not a great idea, so please don't do that. Otherwise, the club launch point is going to be on the runway here as normal. Cables running down the southern edge of the runway with the winch launches running off the grass here as normal, and any club aerotows will be off the northern edge of the runway. Fairly standard setup for 2-7. Winch launches, please bear in mind that light and variable wind, but generally northerly flow, so probably some correction required. Okay, for the club guys, we've got 3 K21s, 2 K13s, 2 baby grubs, and 3 discuses. Otherwise, I haven't really got any other notices today, no movements. The simulator serviceable if we need. For the people flying the club gliders, the workshop have picked up on this, and I had to pick up a few people on it yesterday. Please lift the tails of the tail-heavy gliders, especially SH6 and the discuses. Do not drag them around a corner. Best case, you're not going to do any good to the tyre. It's going to potentially rip it off the rim or just cause damage. But worst case, you could actually cause structural damage. Okay, so we're going to try and be a bit hotter on that. Make sure you're always using the tail dollies or lifting the tails, please. Okay, looks like quite a nice day. Much better out to the west. I will see you out there soon. Bye for now.